according to the World Bank, Tanzania's economy is expected to expand at a slightly faster pace over the next 2 years. That's after growing by 6.9% last year. So as I said, on the line to unpack the growth that we are expected to see coming through from this East African economy, Jacques Morissette, lead economist at the World Bank. Thanks for joining us, Jacques. So just if you could run through your assessment of growth going into the next 2 years, because whilst there's a lot of excitement around the gas discoveries, it's also broad-based growth is what the World Bank is seeing right now.
Yes, actually, we're quite positive about the near term for Tanzania, as you said, growing around 7%, and with the macro fundamentals like the fiscal deficit and the current account deficit well controlled. So it will be driven by population growth, like in the past, and a few specific sectors like communication, financial services.
Mm-hmm.
We not expect to see the short-term impact of new discovery in gas that will come up in 5 or to 10 years' time.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be the main drivers than in the recent past.
Mm-hmm. So let's get into some of these sectors that you've highlighted. What do you see as the key sectors that are going to be really coming to the fore when it comes to contributing to sustaining the economic growth that we have seen from Tanzania? Which ones come to the fore specifically right now?
Yeah, so as I said, part of it is driven by population growth and reinforcing new income. So it's telecommunication and financial services, and
Mm-hmm.
it's also stimulated by urbanization. Another driving factor will be construction and public investment. The government is focusing in recent years, and it will be even focusing even more on infrastructure. So they're planning to invest much more in energy and roads.
Do you think that the government is creating the right environment right now to facilitate private investment into the economy to help it with some of these infrastructure plans?
No, actually, it certainly is the main challenges for Tanzania right now to make this shift from public growth to private sector led growth.
Mm-hmm.
And so they need first they need to improve the business environment, which is still, if you're looking doing business rankings, still at the bottom for Tanzania. The worst part of it has not been improving over the past few years. That's certainly one of the main challenges. It also linked to the need to promote human capital skills. If you want to create accelerated growth, you will need skills and jobs. So certainly that's a big key challenge for the Tanzanian government.
Mm-hmm. So, 7% growth is what you're forecasting, and that certainly is, above average in sub-Saharan Africa. But what do you see as some of the factors which could force you to downgrade your forecast going forward?
For us, the main risk will be on the fiscal policy. That said, the government has been managing very well the fiscal side of the economy over the past few years. But as you may certainly know, we're coming into election time. The next 2 years will be preparation to the 2015 national elections. And like in many countries in the world, you have a close relationship between public spending and elections. So that will be certainly one of the factors to watch. Another one will be, as I said before, the government is planning to spend more in infrastructure, and it will be a trade-off between borrowing to finance these infrastructure projects and to fill the gap of infrastructure needs in the country.
Mm-hmm. And if you're talking about infrastructure needs, there's been a lot of commentary around the bottlenecks that are being caused by the port in Dar es Salaam. What's your assessment as to the impact that this is having on the Tanzanian economy and I suppose more broadly on the East African region?
Yes, actually, one of the topics of our last economic update, which was launched today, is the port of the Dar es Salaam. And why the port? And your question is, it's a very important question. We estimate it's a wonderful opportunity for Tanzania in East Africa, but the current performance of the port is very low. And we estimate that the country and the landlocked countries around Tanzania are losing close to $3 billion a year because of the inefficiency of the port.
So as you say, an opportunity is waving a flag right now, but certainly is creating massive losses when you look at the opportunity cost of not investing there. $2.6 billion is what they're estimating from the World Bank when it comes to the lack of productivity of that port in Dar es Salaam. Thanks so much for joining us today, Jacques Morissette, lead economist at the World Bank, joining us there from Tanzania.